loading this on the flow, man. We close that. Then everything that's loading. If you in the chat, man, let me know you there, man. About to get it cracking. Wait a second. There we go. Okay. Let me restart this. Alright. There we go. Here we go. Waiting for this Mafia world to load up. Man, is anybody watching? Let me check. One second. That W on the shirt, bro. Nigga walk up eating a honey bun. It's crazy. Let's see what this hit on, man.
Real good shit, you know me, I'ma keep it 100. Bitch, I got a couple perks, do you want one? All the hoes say I'm tripping, yeah, I'm on one. So what's up with that pussy, cause I want some. She gon' fuck for a babe hoodie, cause she ain't got one. You ain't the real.
What's up with the damn music? me see. Yo, 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 yo. Change all that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay, I gotta figure
Are you in the
that
mafia?
out.
Am I in the what? Am I in the what?
Whatever you want to call it. Organized crime.
Let's see what all I got going. No, it's that. Yo, yo. What is that, bro? Yo, yo. 1 second, let me see if I can get something to play so I can hear. 1 second, let me know if you can hear me, if anybody in there.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize any direction. Is ready for many, from passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it?
In the last video, I was going over what the defense is going to look like heading into this 2025 season, talking about some of the starters, key players, and really what I expect to happen as far as the depth chart goes.
Yo.
Football content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would love to continue doing this over here on the channel, and if you guys continue to support it, then we can continue to do it. Something that should be mentioned before we start talking about the players is the fact that we have a new offensive coordinator here for the Michigan Wolverines, and that is Chip Lindsey, coming over from North Carolina. I know when he first got hired, I was kind of worried that maybe he's going to bring more of a spread attack to Michigan. But then you really look at what he was able to do last year with the Tar Heels, and you see Omarion Hampton, who was really dominant last year. One of the best running backs in college football, probably the second best running back in college football behind Ashton Genty. And the offense led by Chip Lindsey allowed Omarion Hampton to become a first-round draft pick. So I think it's really good for these running backs here that Michigan has heading into 2025. With Chip Lindsey coming in, allows us to throw the ball a little bit more. Brings in an offensive coordinator that's not afraid to push the ball downfield through the air. But he also respects and likes his running backs as well. And we got a couple of good ones heading into this season. I guess we'll talk about these running backs first with Justice Haynes, the transfer from Alabama, and Jordan Marshall entering his redshirt freshman season after an excellent performance in the game against Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl. I think that this is the best running back duo that we've had since the 2022 version of Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. And then maybe I think you go a step ahead and say they're better than the 2021 combination of Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins potentially. I think Justice Haynes is somebody who can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a little shifty, but he's got some power. And Jordan Marshall will act more as that power back. But when you have two really solid running backs, it'll make a quarterback's life a whole lot easier. But when you have two really solid running backs, you have to worry, is the offensive line good enough for these running backs to run behind? And I think that has been a part of the offense that we've been a little bit worried about over the last couple of seasons. In 2021 and 2022, the offensive line was dominant. Joe Moore award-winning offensive lines. In 2023, they kind of took a step back a little bit. But when you had Blake Corum out there on offense, you know, he was so dominant that you were still able to run the football with some success. But there has been a drop-off every year since 2022, essentially. Heading into this season, there's two players that I've identified as pretty much locks as far as the offensive line goes, and that's Giovanni El-Hadi at left guard and then Greg Crippen at center. Aside from those two, it's kind of open for anybody to play. I think that Andrew Babalola, the true freshman, has an opportunity to start at tackle entering this season. He has been praised by Sharon Moore, an offensive line guy himself. He knows what dominance looks like along the offensive line, so there is a chance that Andrew Babalola will start entering 2025. Aside from him, you have Evan Link, redshirt sophomore. You have Nathan Efobi, who is also a redshirt sophomore, and Andrew Sprague, who's a redshirt freshman. When you look at it, these guys had about equal snaps throughout the season last year. They were kind of swapped a lot last year. Like I said, I only have two locks along the offensive line, but I think that if you're able to find out who those other three guys are going to be, then I think that you're going to find some success. Babalola, I think, is probably your strongest option to get him out there starting. Could take a while to get him on the field because he is just a true freshman, but he's working his way towards
Cali shit right there.
All right, let's get this workout.
Absolutely. Let's crush it.
Co-pilot, how's my squat looking? Is my form okay?
Looking good, but I'd suggest keeping your chest up and core tight.
Now I feel it.
That's the burn we want.
Only deadlifts and lunges left, right?
Don't forget about the planks.
I was trying to forget about those planks.
Not on my watch. Finish strong.
All right, let's get it.
This
The
game,
white hairline up.
you're not ready for it.
We'll see.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that just shifts around, and it's amazing to watch.
Simple actions can have massive effects.
You can cooperate with people, compete with them, make friendships, deceive them, betray them.
It's amazing to think that it's all just other players.
More players start coming. It just starts this complete cascade of actions, and you don't know what's going to happen.
It is a free-for-all. We'll get locked up and shot instantly. People start dying left, right, and center. It's just something that you can't get anywhere else. It's just the rush like no other.
All good moves.
Everybody's on this journey and writing their own stories, and that is probably the simplest way I can describe it.
Things continue to change and evolve. It's awesome. I love it. Part of Eve.
playing time week by week. Next, we'll talk about the tight ends and fullback because Max Bredesen is a beast, and I'm glad that we have him back entering this season. Feels like he's been here for a while. Actually, me and my dad were just talking about it, and we're like, how long has he been there? And I think that overall, when you think about Max Bredesen, this guy is a hard-nosed football player who is going to put his body on the line every single play of every single game. He's somebody you want on your offense, and you really can't give him as much praise as he deserves. As far as the tight end position goes, Marlon Klein will probably be tight end number one, filling in for Colston Loveland. I spoke about Marlon Klein in the previous video where I talked about the 5 key players entering this season. And I think that if Marlon Klein can put up about half the production that Colston Loveland did, and then maybe Hogan Hansen or Zach Marshall, maybe even Brady Prieskorn can also give some production out there, then you're not really going to have a huge drop off. I mean, that's probably a lie because Colston Loveland was a first-round tight end, the first tight end taken off the board last year. You're going to have a drop off. But I think if all these guys can contribute equally, you look back to going on a baseball reference here, you look at the Athletics back in the day and you look at their Moneyball strategy. They replaced one player, but they brought in 4 different guys who could, you know, combine to be what that player was. If you're able to do that with Marlon Klein and Hogan Hansen and the rest of the tight ends, and then combine that together and make a Colston Loveland in some shape or form, that would be pretty cool. As far as the wide receivers go, I think we got a lot better at this position heading into this season. The position group was extremely small over the last couple of seasons, and you got a lot of size through the transfer portal and through recruiting. With Donovan McCulley, the transfer from Indiana, I'm extremely excited to see what he can do. He was one of those players that I identified as a key player entering this season. I also like what Frederick Moore was able to do to end the season last year. I'm excited about his potential, along with Jamar Browder, the true freshman, and Andrew Marsh, another true freshman. I think that both of these guys can get on the field and be impact players. And then we also brought in a transfer from UMass and Anthony Simpson. Not sure how often he'll get on the field entering this season, but it is nice to bring in depth at the position. Samaj Morgan is back along with Kendrick Bell and Peyton O'Leary. But with the additions that you've made through the portal and recruiting over the last couple of seasons, I'm not sure how big of a role they'll necessarily have. Samaj Morgan, to me, is an excellent gadget player. He's perfect in the jet sweep scenarios and the quick screen game to him, but he's not a downfield threat running routes. He just hasn't really separated himself as a route runner over the last couple of seasons. But like I said, overall, I am excited about this receiver group. I think that it got a lot better, and you need weapons when you have a new quarterback. And the last guy we'll talk about.
You got the belt on.
This is an unfinished film. You can take over as director if you like. There are some scenes missing, but that's so you can try out some of your ideas. What are these guys running from? Is it like zombies? Or the cops? Or are they trying to save someone? Like, they could be launching themselves off and like an octopus tries to like grab it out of the air or something. Literally anything is possible. The world is your oyster, as they say. Or in this case, maybe it's like a giant squid or something. Is there like loot and gold and stuff around here? Again, that's completely up to you. Oh, maybe there's a town right there in the background that's like pink and glowing instead of a city. The world is what you make it.
One second, you feel safe. And then,
The police are on their way.
well, you still do.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. We from the D, man.
Is going to be Bryce Underwood.
D, bro.
I know there's been some speculation that if Mikey Keene is healthy, he may be the starter. You know, Davis Warren, if not for the injury, could have been the starter again. But overall, Bryce Underwood is your guy. You don't go after and push for the #1 recruit in high school football to not bring him in. And especially you hear the good things that we've heard out of Bryce Underwood as we enter the summer camp, we end spring camp, and now we're going to be getting closer to the regular season. And that is, he is got a strong arm. He's got the frame that you want at quarterback, and he's learning the playbook. He's learning to call some plays and gain the confidence of the offense around him. Bryce Underwood is every bit of a #1 recruit. He looks the part. Now can he go out there on the field and prove it to everybody? I'm excited to see what he can do. And heck, if we go out there and have an 8-4 season, but we threw Bryce Underwood out there and we got to see glimpses of dominance, I will take that every day of the week. If you throw somebody else out there and you settle for an 8-4 season and you don't play Underwood, or you wait until like the 9th or 10th game to play him, I can't live with that. I can live with throwing Bryce Underwood out there and letting them ball out. I'm excited about this offense. I think it gives me the same excitement that I had over the 2021 to 2023 days of offense. Bryce Underwood is going to be exciting to watch. This offense is going to be exciting to watch. I like the additions that they made. The only question for me is the offensive line. Who else is going to separate themselves aside from El Hadi and Crippen? We're going to find out as the season gets closer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And one other thing that I should mention is I am on a vacation right now. So at the time of recording this video and the defensive video, it is July 22nd. So things may change from now until when you guys see these videos, which probably could be around August or sometime in the future. So if things change, that's why. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Come on, man.
Keep going.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one, we're going to be going over Michigan's 2025 defensive depth chart, as this Michigan defense is absolutely stacked and loaded again here for the 2025 season, and it starts up front on the defensive line. This defensive line is going to be one of the best in college football, and Michigan does plan on rotating 10 guys on the defensive line this upcoming season, which is absolutely insane, but that's just how much depth they have. And Sharon Moore even said that, he doesn't think they've had this much depth on the defensive line and been able to rotate 10 guys like they'll be able to since the 2021 season. But, at the defensive tackle position, and in the inside you got the players like Rashawn Benny and then also Trey Williams and Damon Payne, who both transferred in. Trey Williams came from Clemson, a guy who has a ton of experience at the college level and is a 315-pound defensive tackle, had 14 total tackles and 2 sacks during the 2024 season with Clemson, and if he can stay healthy, he is going to be a force on the defensive line for Michigan. And you pair that with a guy like Rashawn Benny, who is ready to, shine and really take that next step up. In 2024, he had 1.5 sacks, 29 total tackles, but obviously played behind Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, but now it's his time to shine. And then they got Damon Payne, the Alabama transfer, former 5-star from the state of Michigan. Those are going to be the guys in the inside of the defensive line. And then they also got backups from younger guys like Trey Pierce and Enau Etta, who are both going to be juniors this upcoming season, have been waiting their turn as well. And we saw them shine in the bowl game against Alabama. They also got a player like Ike Iwana, and then also David Poly, a massive defensive lineman just like Kenneth Grant, over 335 pounds, and is entering his second year with the Wolverines. And then also in the inside, they got Manuel Beagle. They also got some freshmen as well, like Bobby Conca, Travis Moten, Benny Patterson. They also got Ted Hammond in there as well in the inside on the defensive line. And then you got the edge position, which they are also stacked. You got returning players like Derek Moore and TJ Guy. Derek Moore, a returning starter. Obviously, TJ Guy played behind the dominant his time to shine, and he really came along last season for the Wolverines. Those two guys are going to be a force on the edge. And then you got the backups, Dominic Nichols, Cameron Brandt. Dominic Nichols was a true freshman last season who really raised some eyes, and those are two younger guys who are going to be great on the defensive line as well in the future, and we'll get some playing time here next season. But then you got Devin Baxter, who is entering his sophomore season. Luggard Edokpe. They also got two incoming freshmen out of Julius Holly and Nate Marshall on the edge as well. Those are two freshmen coming in. So, you know, Michigan had to replace guys like Josiah Stewart, Mason Graham, and Kenneth Grant, obviously, on the defensive line. But this defensive line gonna be elite again. And again, that 10-man rotation of Rayshawn Benny, Trey Pierce, Enau Etta, Ike Iwana, and then the transfers, Trey Williams and Damon Payne. And then on the edge, you got TJ Guy, Derek Moore, Dominic Nichols, and Cameron Brandt. Those 10 guys are all going to be getting some playing time, and